guys, it's Shannon with True Crime with Shannon, and I'm back with another video. But before we get into today's video topic, if you do me a quick favor, if you like the content that you're seeing, hit that thumbs up, that like button for me. I really do appreciate it, and it helps the video get some more traction here on YouTube. And also, if you haven't subscribed to the channel already, what are you waiting for? I really do love all my subscribers. You guys are amazing. And also, if you subscribe and hit the notification bell, you'll be notified whenever I post a new video. Okay, but before I get into the topic, I wanted to do a missing persons, and I did not do that on the first video I did of the week. This one here is missing person. It is this is a juvenile. Her name is Gracie Williams, and it looks like she's out of Burien, Washington. She was last seen at 12:30 a.m. on 7/5, so it was after the July 4th holiday. And let's see, she's 14 years old, 5'3", 120 pounds, brown eyes, brown hair, and some pictures of her here. Let's see. Gracie was last seen in the Five Corners area of Burien. The family is asking for the public to please share this flyer out and help them find Gracie. Gracie was last seen wearing a brown hoodie and jeans. She is possibly in the White Center, Burien, and Tukwila area of Washington. If any information on Gracie's whereabouts, please call the Burien Police Department at 206-296-3311 or 911. And there's the case number at the bottom there. Especially if you're in the Washington that area for sure. Please do look out for Gracie Williams. When Highland Park Mayor Nancy Rotering on Tuesday revealed that she knew Robert Bobby Crimo, the 21-year-old accused of indiscriminately raining gunfire on a peaceful July 4th parade in an attack that killed 7 and injured dozens more, she expressed shock that a little boy from the Cub Scouts would somehow become a mass killer. But some of the people who grew up with Crimo, a lanky, aspiring YouTube rapper festooned with tattoos, his music riddled with violent imagery, said that they saw disturbing warning signs. There were lots of red flags with him, one former Highland Park High School classmate told the Daily Beast. I told my teacher I did not want to sit next to him. He really scared me. Hours after Highland Park, a town once best known as the backdrop to Ferris Bueller's Day Off and 16 Candles, became the latest site of mass slaughter by gunfire in America. A community was struggling to process why it became a target. I did not know that this town was the backdrop for either of those movies. And why the son of a prominent local businessman who ran for mayor had descended into a twisted online world obsessed with mass murder, memes, and mayhem, and whether he might have been stopped before it was too late. By all accounts, Crimo was not a well-adjusted teen who suddenly veered wildly off course in recent weeks. On Tuesday, police revealed a September 2019 incident in which Crimo allegedly threatened to kill everyone in his family while hoarding 16 knives, a dagger, and a sword. He had also attempted to die by suicide that same April, police said, and I heard that he wanted to kill himself with a machete, which is really odd. Neither incident resulted in an arrest, which may have made it easier for him to legally purchase the guns cops say he used to kill innocent people. A review of Crimo's social media posts, online discourse, and music videos point to someone plainly obsessed with violent imagery, mass shootings, and high-profile murders. But conversations with people who knew him suggested that even if his behavior was sometimes disturbing, it was difficult to unpack his more banal adolescent habits, like his love of hip-hop, from the potential for evil. He would always be showing violent things to everyone, the same former classmate added, noting that she had a class with Crimo and that he frequently acted out violent music videos and lyrics. He would try to promote his rapping to everyone. Authorities have yet to paint a clear picture of any motive behind the deadly shooting, but they say Crimo spent weeks planning the horrific attack launched from a rooftop where he opened fire at random parade attendees awaiting floats and marching bands below. Deputy Chief Christopher Covelli, a spokesman for the Lake County Sheriff's Office, said Tuesday that Crimo wore women's clothing during the attack to conceal his facial tattoos and his identity, and to help him during the escape with other people who were fleeing the chaos. Afterwards, he quickly blended into the chaotic crowd before eventually running to his mother's house and borrowing her car, police said, noting that he legally obtained the gun they recovered from the rooftop Crimo allegedly used as a sniper's nest. Crimo has been charged with 7 counts of first-degree murder, Lake County State Attorney Eric Reinhart said on Tuesday, noting that he anticipated more charges would be forthcoming. He faces a bond hearing Wednesday morning. He did have that this morning as I record this here. Actually, yesterday, excuse me, today's Thursday. On Tuesday, what appeared to be his mother's home in Highland Park stood out in a well-kept neighborhood. The grass and plants were overgrown, and the glass on the front door almost fell out of its pane when opened. Denise Passina sat in the driveway in a small white car while speaking on the phone with the engine running. She cordially declined to answer questions, referring the Daily Beast to her attorney. No one answered the door at the home of Robert Crimo Jr., the father of the suspected shooter, where the 21-year-old lived in the apartment at the back of the property. It was unclear if and when the parents stopped living together. So yeah, apparently they are still married, but they're separated. While neither of Crimo's parents responded to requests for comment, their lawyer told the Daily Beast they were in, quote, absolute shock over the allegations against their son. Attorney Stephen Greenberg, who previously represented R. Kelly, said the couple don't know what happened during the parade and what could have prompted Crimo to be involved in such a grisly plot. No one thinks a tragedy of this magnitude would happen to their family. When they first heard about the shooting, they had no idea that Bobby could be involved. See, I'm finding this hard to believe, the fact that his history and everything. Greenberg indicated that Crimo's parents were aware that he had legally obtained several firearms in Illinois, but stressed that his clients never thought anything like Monday's tragedy could happen. He suggested they were clinging to the hope that somehow cops got it wrong, that it turns out it's not what it seems. Because no parent wants to wake up knowing their child, who they have loved and nurtured, may spend the rest of their life in prison. I find it hard to believe these parents had no clue. With his 2 histories of the calls to the law enforcement in 2019 with all the knives and stuff, I just find it hard to believe. And he apparently tried to commit suicide a couple times. So like I find it's hard to believe that neither parent had a feeling that this guy needed some help. Authorities arrested Crimo after a 7-hour manhunt when a North Chicago police officer spotted the car he was believed to be driving. The 21-year-old took flight, but he was arrested after a brief pursuit in Lake Forest. Inside the car, police said they found a second legally purchased rifle. That Crimo's parents were not exactly nobodies made the shooting even more disturbing to some of the former classmates. His dad ran a popular deli in the area and even ran for mayor in 2019. Mark Heyman, who was 1 year older than Crimo in school, but said that he had known the family for years, told the Daily Beast. Crimo Jr., who lost the race in a 2-1 margin to the incumbent, ran on the slogan, "A person for the people." A since-removed Facebook post suggests Crimo's mother was involved in the world of alternative medicine. Jeremy Kahneman, who ran an after-school sports program at Lincoln Elementary School, told Fox News that Crimo's parents were always the last to pick him and his younger brother up after classes. He said that Crimo was just 9 or 10 when he was enrolled in the school's Nerf football program. I remember the parents more than him because they were kind of a problem, he said. The kid was really quiet, really soft-spoken, never made an issue. Several former classmates emphasized to the Daily Beast that Crimo was quiet, a loner who never really hung out with a group. Heyman, who participated in Cub Scouts with Crimo in elementary school, said that something was off, something wasn't right about him, and said that he did not know if he had any friends. Another person who was in Cub Scouts with Crimo said he lost touch with him after middle school, but remembered him as a quiet, soft-spoken skate park kid. He definitely got judged a little for his golf-like image, the former acquaintance told the Daily Beast. In Highland Park, it's not the most typical thing. But the same former classmate said Crimo's father's deli, Bob's Pantry, was a popular place in Highland Park and that he often saw Crimo behind the counter, lending a hand with the family business. In that sense, it seemed like he was a normal kid to them. He was never a troublemaker. In junior high, the former classmate said, in contrast to other interviewees. Ethan Asbler, another student who was a year ahead of Crimo in high school, insisted the suspect had behavioral red flags. Specifically, Absler said he was very defiant in class, incessantly promoted his music, and was the type of student where teachers realized they were going to have to discipline him in another way or be more realistic about his behavior. But the former classmate still felt there was nothing that could indicate that he was capable of anything like Monday's shooting. From Absler's perspective, Crimo led like a secret double life that we didn't know about. That sure seems to be the case. Nicholas and Andres Lopez, two brothers who attended middle school and high school with Crimo, told the New York Times they didn't see anything in his behavior to suggest he'd go on to do what he's accused of. He was always quiet and reserved, but nice, Andres Lopez told the Times. He wasn't a quiet kid who was dark then. He was quiet because he was nerdy. He wasn't sinister. I wonder when it started then. Because he definitely was pretty dark and kind of out there recently. The brothers recall Crimo speaking at the funeral of their older brother after he died of a heroin overdose in 2017. He was very upset, saying my brother was one of his only friends. Nicholas Lopez was quoted saying, an acquaintance of Crimo, who spoke to the Daily Beast, also recalled his speech at Anthony LaPorte's funeral, saying he was very soft-spoken. He mentioned how he had nobody, and this one person who passed away was the only person he had to go to, the friend said. His behavior began to change after he went through a breakup around the same time, the Lopez brothers said. That's when he started acting weird. He was a recluse, Andres Lopez said. In high school, Heyman said Crimo started uploading rap songs on YouTube and went by the name of Awake the Rapper on social media. Online, he posted several violent music videos, including a crude animation depicting a gunman being killed by police. In another, Crimo is inside an empty classroom dressed in tactical gear and draped in an American flag. NBC News reported that Crimo had his own Discord channel that was disabled after the shooting, and that he frequented a message board devoted to death where he posted a beheading video. Yeah, all his social media stuff has been completely shut down by all of them now. Let's see. Crimo's post also showed him wearing a Trump flag like a cape. Another photo of Crimo showed him at a Trump rally, dressed as Waldo, but he also liked a Twitter video of President Biden, and no clear picture of political extremism emerged in the hours after the attack. Yeah, he seemed to be, like, everyone's like wondering if he was pro-Trump or what exactly he was, but he seems to have attended that rally, and then he had like a Trump flag and everything. Two of Crimo's online friends who also produce music told Rolling Stone that while he struggled with mental health issues, he did not have many friends in real life. They missed key warning signs. I knew that there was something in his head that was messing with him, said Nodfather, an independent producer who was friends with Crimo for years after meeting him on Discord. In all honesty, a lot of it was with him being self-isolating. The former high school classmate who remembered Crimo showing violent content to his peers noted that he once got in trouble for posting stickers promoting his music on school property. When the classmate mostly forgot about Crimo in the years that followed, she said she wondered if he might be the parade shooter upon hearing that a younger white male suspect was on the loose. Oh, that's weird. Whew. This is really freaky, but I was telling someone, this has to be someone from Highland Park that I know. And one of the first things I thought of was Bobby Crimo because of all the stuff he's done, she said. Ooh, that's really strange that you automatically assume it's him. So I think that sounds like there was a lot of warning signs that not only his family missed, but his teachers and everything. Maybe not so much middle school, but high school and beyond, for sure. So, let's see. This is from Newsweek. Robert Bobby Crimo, the man accused of killing 6 people and injuring at least 38 more in a mass shooting in Illinois, posted videos and images online featuring former President Donald Trump, and he attended a rally dressed as the character from the children's books Where's Waldo. Of note, I believe it's over 40 people have been injured at this point. I believe that is the correct number now. It's been updated since. Crimo, 22, who was taken into custody on Monday in connection to the 4th of July shooting, was also found to have uploaded a number of disturbing posts and imagery on various social media and websites. The online postings did not overtly reference politics or political figures, except 2 posts about Trump. So I guess That's why we're not really sure if he liked Trump or what, but there he is right there. Let's see. In one video uploaded on YouTube on January 2nd, 2021, Crimo is with a crowd of Trump supporters waiting for the presidential motorcade outside of an airport. As the vehicles drive by, Crimo flips his phone and shows his face, which has distinctive tattoos. Crimo also posted a photo onto Twitter showing him draped in a Trump flag on June 27, 2021, along with the caption, "Spam." The suspect was photographed at a Trump rally in the Chicago suburb of Northbrook in September of 2020, dressed as the character from the Where's Waldo series of books. Another image believed to be taken at the same rally also emerged, showing Crimo dressed in a Waldo costume taking a selfie. Everywhere else, Crimo, who also goes by the moniker Awake the Rapper, posted his music on several major streaming outlets. One music video posted on YouTube last year, which has since been viewed more than 25,000 times, is an animation showing a person carrying out a school shooting before appearing to be shot by police and lying in a pool of blood. That is weird and creepy, you guys. One symbol which features prominently in the music video, as well as a number of other social media posts by the suspect, is reminiscent of a sign used by the Finnish far-right group Tsunamin Sisu. I'm sure I'm saying that incorrectly. So there he is, and their Where Waldo selfie there. It's creepy. Crimo was also the administrator of a Discord channel named SS, the shortened moniker used by the infamous Nazi paramilitary group, the Schutzstaffel, who were mainly responsible for carrying out the numerous atrocities during the Holocaust, reported the Daily Beast. See, that's really strange. And it's been thought that he might be Jewish, so I'm not sure if that's true either. In the week prior to the shooting, Crimo posted a beheading video on an online message board, which regularly contained graphic depictions of murder, death, and suicide, reported NBC News. So there is a post with some of his pictures on it. He has a flag, looks like draped around him, and I don't know what he's doing there with that chair, but there he is to the left with that rally. Let's see. Paul Crimo, the uncle of the suspect, said that there were no signs from his nephew which would indicate he would carry out such an attack. I just find this completely hard to believe that this family did not see any of this stuff. I mean, are they blind? I mean, seriously. I mean, the guy's like creepy. All the stuff he's posting, super creepy. Speaking to CNN, Paul Crimo said he was not aware of any political views of the suspect, but admitted that he rarely talks to the 22-year-old. Well, if you don't really talk to him, I guess you don't know. He's a quiet kid, he said. He's usually on his own. He's a lonely, quiet person. He keeps everything to himself. Well, I guess it's sometimes the quiet ones you gotta be worried about. We are good people here, and to have this is devastating, Paul Crimo added, noting that his brother and the suspect's father previously ran for mayor of Highland Park in 2019. I'm so heartbroken for all the families who lost their lives. So police have not suggested a potential motive for the attack. Of course, President Biden made a statement. So that's the coverage there. So yeah, I don't know if he is, if he likes Trump or what the situation is with the whole Trump thing, because it is weird. But what I did find interesting was there's an article on this other site. It talks about some of his markings and his tattoos, which is really interesting. So he has a bizarre thing about the numbers 4 and 7. I don't know if it's like any 7 and 4, 4 and 7, 7 and 4, but 47. On his vehicle, he has painted on there 47. So I'm not really sure. I was looking around to see if I could figure out what 47 meant. But there's some things like numerology and stuff, and that's like a little bit weird stuff. I'm not really into that. So this one here they came up with some of their thoughts and theories on it. Let's see here. Bobby Crimo III had an odd obsession with the numbers 4 and 7, which when transposed correspond rather to the day of his murders. So yeah, it was 7-4. So I don't know, like I said, if it's just any which way of that number or what the situation is as far as that's concerned. And they were mentioning that And they said that the police are saying they have no idea what that means, but by this point they may know because he has confessed to everything at this point. So it's possible that he's told them what they mean to him or however. Let's see. The suspect allegedly used the alias Awake47 on an online forum where he and others frequently posted pictures of the aftermath of violence. The rampage at a 4th of July parade in a Chicago suburb on Monday left 7 innocent people dead and dozens more injured. His obsession apparently stems from music that he's interested in. So there's a post that he did, I guess, and it's all 4s and 7s, like over and over and over on his Twitter. It's just really strange. They didn't elaborate on the significance, officials, whether they know what it really means or not, they're not saying. A picture of Crimo wearing a dark suit and a red tie was compared to Agent 47, the fictional protagonist of the Hitman video game series by some social media users. I'm not familiar with that, but there was something else I thought of that all of a sudden went to my mind, and I'll mention that in a second here. 4 and 7 also corresponds to the day he decided to commit his crime. July is the 7th month of the year, and the day chosen was the 4th. Now there's pictures of him, a lot of pictures with him with a smiley face, the just yellow. For some reason, even though it doesn't have the bullet, the bullet with the blood coming out, I just kept thinking of like the Watchmen, the comic book, which they've made, TV show and movie and all that out of it. I just kept thinking of the Watchmen, which was odd. It just came to my mind because I used to read a lot of comic books. But there is his vehicle right there. He's got the 4.7 on it and some other stuff. But he was actually driving his mom's Honda Fit when they caught him, but his Acura has that number 47 painted in large black and gold letters on both the driver and passenger sides. So that is super bizarre. So there's that information. Okay, so Crimo told cops like back in 2019 when they came to his residence that he was a drug user. I think that he was this was all a cry for help, and sadly nobody picked up on this. Nobody did. He admitted to cops 3 years ago that he was a depressed teenage drug user when quizzed about threatening to kill everyone in his family, newly released documents show. A Highland Park police report details why the then 18-year-old alleged shooter was flagged as a clear and present danger in 2019, just a few months before his dad helped him start amassing the arsenal he allegedly used to kill 7 and people and dozens other at his local 4th of July parade. Why did this guy get guns? He already had this collection of knives and daggers and all this stuff, and his dad helped him get all these guns. I mean, what is going on, you guys? His father certainly has got to be getting in trouble. He doesn't think so, but I think he's going to be. And there's some information about that as well. They were called, it looks like the officers were called to his Highland Park home at 10 a.m. back on September 5th in 2019 for a well-being check after a relative said that Robert stated he was going to kill everyone. And they had the information from the police report, which is highly redacted. So I'll put that here as well. It looks like, I said there's a lot of redacted here, so it's not exactly the easiest thing to read. Passing through, they went to his home, detailing the threat. Okay, upon making contact with Robert Crimo III and his mother, Denise Pistesna, Robert admitted to being depressed on Monday, 9/2/19, and having a history of drug use. Robert was not forthcoming as to the language that he used on Monday, nor was his mother, Denise. We were then joined by Sergeant Olson on the scene. After speaking to Robert Crimo, his father, it's Robert Crimo, it was learned that the collection of knives belonged to him. I don't think that's true at all. So his father claimed that those knives were his and not his son's, but they were in his son's room, which is, and then they turned over, at the time they turned over the collection, it was 16 knives total that were stored in a tin can lunchbox, along with a 12-inch dagger and a 24-inch samurai type blade in his bedroom closet. I guess his father told the cops that, oh no, those are mine. I just store them in my son's closet for safekeeping. No. I don't believe that for a hot second. So I guess he did not want to put any charges against his son. So they told the kid, if he needed any help, to let them know, for medical assistance to contact, and they told the rest of the parents that DCFS would be contacted and that informed the agency has service referral assistance. So then it looks like they took the stuff, like I said, back to the police department, and then the father showed up and he took all the property back home, and it looks like nothing really happened from there. So that's super nice. So so he had all that stuff. He threatened to kill the family, yet nothing happens to him. So I find that completely odd and super wrong, because if they would have taken it seriously at that time, if they would have taken the fact that he was talking about suicide around that same time, he was talking about killing his family. He's got 16 knives, a dagger, and a samurai sword. I mean, who the heck keeps that? His father claims that, oh, when I was a kid, I collected stamps. I don't think stamps are the same thing as collecting knives and guns. I think they're totally different things, and I don't buy it for a hot second. Police questioned the then 18-year-old Crimo in front of his mother, Denise Pessina, and he admitted to being depressed and having a history of drug use. The redacted report said it did not detail what drugs he used at the time. However, despite one of their relatives being too terrified to return home, the depressed teen, and his mother were not forthcoming as to the language he used, responding officers noted. There's his mom. The cops also spoke to Crimo's dad, Robert Crimo Jr., who immediately said that the collection of knives belonged to him. So he's taking all the blame, that these are all his knives, and, oh, they're not his. I just keep them in my son's room. Likely. He then agreed to hand over the collection of the knives that were being stored, and then later, like he said, the report said that he came back and he picked them up from the police station. The police asked Crimo, with his mother still present, they asked him if he felt like harming himself or others. The report noted with Robert answering no. Still, the local police report noted that a clear and present danger form was filled out and faxed to the Illinois State Police, which that is it right there. So they thought he was a danger to himself and possibly others. It notes that such declarations are to identify persons who, if granted access to a firearm or a firearm ammunition, pose an actual imminent threat of substantial bodily harm to themselves or another person or persons. That is able and significant or will likely act in a manner dangerous to public interest. So he had this clear and present danger, and he still got guns. Okay, y'all. State police investigated under the state's red flag laws that would allow them to take away weapons or bar active applications to get them. But Crimo did not have a FOID card or pending application at the time, leaving no weapons for the state police to take. So at the time, Dad said all these knives and other pointy things they belonged to me. And at the time, he had not asked his father to help him get that FOID card, and for some reason they didn't flag his name, so that when he did apply that he couldn't get it, which is another whole issue altogether. Because both the individual and the mother disputed the threat of violence, Crimo told police he did not feel like hurting himself or others, and his dad claimed the knives were his. There was no probable cause to arrest, the state police force said. Upon review of the report at that time, the reviewing officer concluded there was insufficient information for a clear and present danger determination. So I guess that did not help us at all, or him, or anybody at all. Oh, this kid's fine. Wrong. It meant that there was nothing barring Crimo from buying guns in the future, which he applied to do just 2 months later with his dad's help. So 2 months before he applied for guns with his dad's help, because he wasn't 21, he wanted to kill himself and he wanted to kill his whole family. But 2 months later, oh, I'm perfectly fine, let's have some guns. And Dad says, sure, I'll sign off for you. And between him signing off and the state being okay with it, this guy got guns. I mean, so many red flags and mistakes, so many things. His FOID card application included a parental legal guardian affidavit signed by the father of the individual applying. The state force said, adding that Crimo had, quote, no firearms prohibitor at the time. If he had that, I think that this whole thing would have been prevented. At the time of the FOID application approval for the individual in question, there was no new information to establish a clear and present danger, no arrests, no prohibiting criminal records, no mental health prohibitors, no orders of protection, no other disqualifying prohibitors, and no firearms restraining order, the state force insisted. Whoa, I don't know. It's just so many things wrong with this. The available evidence would have been insufficient for law enforcement to seek a firearms restraining order from a court. So, Crimo, now 21, will go on to buy at least 5 guns, 5 of them, including the Smith & Wesson M&P 15 semi-automatic rifle he allegedly used to fire more than 80 rounds at parade goers on Monday, July 4th, killing 7 and injuring dozens more. So he bought, like again, all these guns. He bought legally because his father signed off on it, and the state said, you're no threat. Wrong. A Kel-Tec Sub 2000 was found in his car after his arrest, and a Remington 700, a shotgun, and a Glock 43 were recovered from his home. What 21-year-old, first of all, needs all these weapons? Despite the fact that, I mean, that's not even counting all his mental and all his other problems. What 21-year-old needs 5 guns, guys? What 21-year-old needs 5 guns? Despite sponsoring his son, the killer's dad told the Post in an exclusive interview Monday that he had zero responsibility for his son's deadly attack. Wrong. I think he's completely wrong, and you know he's obtained a legal attorney at this point. So, because you know what, I think he's going to be charged. I really do believe it. That's my opinion. That's my personal opinion. I think his dad had a lot to do with him getting those guns, and also obviously the state and the police for not putting blocks on this kid. See, he bought everything on his own, and they're registered to him, the dad said, of his son's weapons. Oh no, he's trying to wipe his hand. No, these all belong to my son. I had nothing to do with it. Oh, I just signed a paper. No, I had no idea. I had no idea that my son was so disturbed. Gee, I had no clue. I mean, if you buy that, you know, come on. We got to sell you some land in the swamp. Come on. That's just insane. This father is like, he's so, either he's just not thinking, or he seriously is, something's wrong with him. Let's see, his father goes on to say, you know, he drove there, he ordered them, he picked them up, he did his background check on each one, said Crimo Jr. He dismissed his gun's 2019 threat as a childish outburst. Yeah, when he's 18 years old, he has a violent childish outburst. I don't think that's a childish outburst. I think it was a cry for mental help. And likened the sword and knives that were briefly confiscated at the time to his own previous collection of coins and baseball cards. Gee, I had baseball cards and coins when growing up. He just likes knives and pointy things because that's normal. Let's see. Crimo has been hit with 7 first-degree murder charges, which would bring a mandatory life sentence without the possibility of parole. There will be many, many more charges coming, said the Lake County State Attorney Eric Reinhardt, vowing to bring attempted murder and aggravated battery charges for each individual who was hurt. Some of the wounded remain hospitalized in critical condition, and the death toll could still rise. I don't believe for a hot second that this father is innocent at all. I believe that he is totally, potentially at fault, and there he is right there. And he ran for mayor. He ran a deli. Look at him. I don't think I honestly, my personal opinion is he should have stopped this. He did not have to let him have, you know, he already made a mistake. He had knives in the house. He took the blame for it when the cops came, and his son told them all that he wanted to kill him, and he also, you know, wanted to commit suicide. And he's into all this crazy violent stuff like beheadings, and his music is outrageously crazy. And oh no, my son's not disturbed. He doesn't have mental problems. He doesn't need any help. It's totally okay. Let's let him have knives, and I'll help him out. Let me sign the paper. Go buy some guns, son. Gee, have a good time. No, I think that Mr. Robert Crimo II, because his son is the third. Apparently his father, all down the line. I think he's going to be charged. What do you guys think? I think he is. I think he's going to have some charges pending on him. I'm going to be pretty shocked if he's not. And some people have compared this possibly to another Crumbly situations, but I don't know about the mom. I don't know how much she's aware of, but Dad is not innocent at all. And of course, the rest of the family, the adults, they should have known more as well. And that's my thought on that. So that's kind of like the updates right now. There's a lot, like I said, there's a lot going on, and I'm trying to dive more into this. I mean, there's some crazy stuff, this guy. I mean, if you know anything about, you have any ideas about the 4, and the 7, let me know. I'm actually really interested to see if anybody really does know what it means. Like I said, I did a Google search and did some searching, and what I just kind of told you guys is what I kind of found. And like I said, if the police know, they're not staying at this point. I'm sure it'll come out at some point if they know, but I mean, who knows if there's really anything. He just might like the numbers. I don't know. It's got to be significant of something, though. This kid seems to have everything planned out. There's also an oddity that I wonder about, is that another YouTube creator brought up today that if you look at one of the pictures of him, he has a newspaper in the background, a newspaper from back when Oswald, and yeah, we're going back to the JFK assassination. I don't know if some of you guys are familiar with that. I studied that a long time growing up. I actually did a number of stuff on that, so definitely was something I was into. Growing up, I was into all that sort of history stuff. But on the back wall, he doesn't have much behind him in one of his music videos, one of the stills, but he's got the newspaper of when Oswald was shot by Jack Ruby. So it was brought up, does he want to be like Oswald? I mean, does he envision himself as like an Oswald type or something, that he wants to do all these killings and then he wants somebody to shoot him? I mean, I don't know. I mean, what do you guys think of that theory? It's definitely super strange. I mean, considering he's into all this other stuff, I guess it's not, it's not too far out there as a possible, idea. And again, I still kind of see that smiley face on his shirt, that smiley face, the white smiley, no, excuse me, rather the yellow smiley face, even though it doesn't have the gunshot, the splatter on it like the Watchmen. I kind of, immediately when I saw all that, and he's got a painting on the wall inside of his house, he said he painted it for his mom. So it's like a guy in black, and it's, with a, smiley face for the head, and I kept thinking, man, that just makes me think of the Watchmen. So what else was this guy into? Seriously. So let me know what you guys think of this. I mean, this is a super crazy case, and I don't know. Like I said, I'm looking more into some stuff, and I'll probably do another video if you guys are interested. I might actually do my first live stream on it, so let me know if you're interested. I might do something on Saturday. I'm gonna finally venture in and jump on into the live streaming pool, I think, in the next coming days. So let me know what you guys think of the video today and the topic, and your thoughts in the comments. I really do appreciate it. And if you haven't already, please hit that like button on your way out. And if you haven't subscribed, please do that. I really do appreciate it. And with that said and done, that's it for today. I hope you guys have a great day, and stay safe.